Hey, welcome back, friends. So as you see in the title, this video is about tendencies of seasoned RVers. So what is a seasoned RVer? Well, just people that have been doing it a while, right? People that have been doing it 5, 6, 10, 15 years. You know, what does the hobby look like? It's all exciting when you get into it. Right at first, you get your new RV, or new to you RV anyway. You learn how to tow. You get all of these. You're bombarded with all of these options for accessories and all of these fun things on Amazon and Facebook and all of that. You join groups, etc., etc. But what does it look like after several years? So that's what we're talking about in this video. One of the things that most all seasoned RVers do is they upgrade their mattress. So help us pay some bills and check out today's video sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by rvmattress.com, a Brooklyn bedding brand.
So our family has enjoyed RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding's mattresses for over a year now. We love them and we're confident you will as well.
This particular model is called the Dream Foam Essential, which just won Good Housekeeping's 2023 Family Travel Award for having a big variety of sizes without sacrificing comfort, making it the perfect mattress on the road.
With your RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, you get a 120-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty.
For our family, the RV is our place to recharge for the next day. So a comfortable night's rest is important, not just for mom and dad, but for the kids too. Thank you, RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, for sponsoring today's video.
So head over to rvmattress.com/wondering and use our code WONDERING to get 25% off your next mattress. Whoa. I need to stop the commercial right there. I just received email this month, October 2024. Moving forward, our code WONDERING over at rvmattress.com will be good for 30% off. So we actually love these mattresses. That's a great deal. Now let's get back into today's video. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. So biggest thing about this video, we do these type of videos sometimes. I call them discussion videos. We're just one set of seasoned RVers, right? So there's a lot of you that have been RVing longer than we have. We've been doing this for about 9 years, but there's folks out there that have been doing it 20, 30, 40 years. So hop down in the comment section and comment on what I've missed. I promise you I'm going to miss a lot. But our comment section is one of the best on YouTube. If you go through some of our videos and check out our comments, there are people down there that are a lot smarter than I am. Let's jump into the first tendency of seasoned RVers, and that is a simplified setup, specifically outdoors. We'll talk about the indoor stuff here in just a second, but you know, we used to go out and I used to put out a Blackstone. I used to put out a charcoal grill. We would have like what seemed like 10 camping chairs. We would have all of the rugs, several tables, all kinds of games. You know, we had just a whole campsite full of stuff, half the stuff we didn't use. So we've streamlined that basically. Now we have a camping chair for every butt. That's all we need. You know, if we have friends over, we may have a couple extra in the RV, or we may have a picnic table we can use or something like that for seating. But yeah, just simplify that. I bring one way of cooking now. I don't bring the Blackstone anymore. I bring a little pellet grill that I really enjoy, and I can also put a skillet on top of that if I want to make eggs or something like that. It makes great bacon, so that's kind of where I've gone there. But one way of cooking, and it's just simple. We have one table where we can place a couple of drinks if we need to, and that's it. You know, we don't have much of anything out there. I got a rug, keep the dirt down, right? But it's just very simple. I see a lot of these campsites just full of stuff, and it just becomes overwhelming. It becomes stressful when you're setting it up, and it's even more stressful when you know you got to take it down when you're checking out. And so, yeah, with the simplified setup, I think most seasoned RVers would agree to that one. And I would just say less is more is always a good rule to go by. Okay, let's talk about another tendency that kind of ties in with the first tendency, and that's purging. So you tend to purge a lot as you do this hobby more and more. You start to realize you fine-tune this hobby for you so much. You know what you do, you know what you don't do, and you start to learn, okay, I'm not going to need this. I no longer want this. This is no longer relevant to us. So you purge and purge, and eventually you learn not to add. So so you learn what not to put on the rig once you've purged it enough. So that's kind of more of the interior part of the rig. It also applies to the storage areas in your unit, the outside storage areas. But I'm thinking more about the interior stuff. You know, you don't need 15 sets of utensils. You don't need 100 different bowls. You know, you get these little cute bowls. It always happens. Everyone learns. You get an RV, so they give you like RV pattern bowls and you know, RV pattern napkins and stuff like that. All of that stuff is fun and cute, but eventually you've got too much of it, and you learn exactly what you need, and that's all you need. And there's something really satisfying about having just what you need and nothing extra. Okay, another tendency of seasoned RVers is we don't get lazy on our maintenance. And the reason we don't is because we did, and it burned us. So, everyone's got their specific stories about, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. I've got two situations where I had to take an emergency trip up to our permanent site and winterize because we had a very early hard freeze. And by hard freeze, I mean we were in the low 20s in November, which doesn't happen much here in Georgia. So I had to scoot up there. I'm just thinking to myself, you know what, man, you should have just shot some antifreeze through it before you left, but you didn't. And yeah. So don't be lazy with your maintenance. Go ahead and start that from the get-go. That is great advice. And seasoned RVers, most all of them will tell you, yeah, do your maintenance the right way. Don't always try to take the cheap way out, and keep it up to date for sure. It's very important. All right, this is something that may be a little controversial. I don't know, but I think for the most part, the seasoned RVers that we know, and we know several of them, I think they will agree to this. You don't stop going to new destinations, but you don't hesitate to go back to your favorites. And so I know when we first started RVing, everywhere we went, we wanted to be somewhere new. Let's go somewhere new. Let's go somewhere new. Well, as you continue to do this, you start to realize, wow, we really like this spot, or we really like this spot. A good example for us is Hamburg State Park here in Georgia. We love that place. And so it was, for some weird reason, we didn't want to go back because, in the beginning, we didn't want to go back because it wasn't new. And then we're like, what are we doing? That was a great trip. Of course we should go back. So now it's become a yearly tradition for us. Every year we try to go back to Hamburg. You'll see that with a lot of different RVers. They find their favorite places within reasonable distance of their home. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you had a great time the first time, you're very likely going to have a great time the next time. So you're not so hard up on going to everywhere new. Instead, you start to find your favorite places and you start to hone in on those a little bit. Now, again, the lust for new areas and new campgrounds and new trips is always there, of course. But yeah, you're not hesitant at all to go back to some of your favorites. All right, the next tendency, at least for us, and that kind of ties into what I just talked about, was there's just less pressure to go overall. When you first buy an RV, RVs are expensive now. Even when we bought ours, they weren't cheap. But you feel pressured to go. Like, you want to get the most out of your money, right? I mean, that's what everyone's thinking. But as you grow in the hobby, you start to realize, especially if you're weekenders like us, like, the RV is strictly a toy for us. Why should we let it stress us at all? It should never be a stressor. It should always be a pleasure. Now, maintenance and stuff like that, of course, you knew that was coming. But we shouldn't feel pressured to use the RV all the time. Sometimes it's okay to stay at home. Sometimes if it's a chance of rain and you not feel like going, it's okay to cancel those plans. It's okay. Just try to give I will say, try to give the campground enough time to rebook those if they can. That's just common courtesy. But don't feel pressured. Seasoned RVers, I don't think, feel pressured to go all the time. They know that they're going to go at their leisure. And that's what this is. It's a leisure hobby, right? I really think that not being pressured to go makes the hobby even more enjoyable. All right, next tendency, and that is you learn to streamline your packing. And by packing, I mean everything you pack: food, clothes, etc. So I know in the beginning we would overpack clothes, we would overpack food, and yeah, it just becomes too much. We'd have to come home and we'd unload more than we packed, it seemed. And so you start to realize, okay, this is how much we're going to eat. These are our favorite meals. That's another thing. You start to learn what your favorite meals are, all of those good things. And so you learn how to streamline your packing. You learn not to pack too much. You learn to look at the weather but never trust it 100%. And you figure out those packing lists, and you can streamline them way better than you did when you first started RVing. Okay, this next tendency kind of ties into the one I just talked about, and that is, don't feel pressured to cook every meal. I think, in the beginning, campfire cooking, camp cooking, that's a big part of camping, and it still is, even after we've been RVing for 9 years now. It's still a big deal. It's still something I love doing. It's still something that we crave, that we want to do, but we don't feel like we have to do it every meal. And we don't feel like we have to cook breakfast every morning. It's okay to have a bowl of cereal. It's okay to have a granola bar And it's okay to do that while you're camping. It's you know, keep it simple, stupid. That's the gist of a lot of this video, really. It's okay to explore restaurants. We actually love to do that. So we try to plan on having one of our meals, if we're out on just a weekend, one of those meals we try to plan at a local restaurant that we can't go to where we live. So that's less food we have to pack. That's why it kind of ties into that last point I made. So don't feel pressured. I think seasoned RVers feel less pressure to cook every single meal at the campsite and to make this big event out of camp cooking. And while it's fun and we still do it sometimes, it's not something we feel like we have to do all the time. I mean, there's been several camping trips that we've only brought out the grill one time, and we just cook hot dogs on a pellet grill. I didn't even have to start charcoal, and it's just like a lazy man's campsite. But it's so simple, it's so easy, and that's really what this is all about. It's not about the cooking process. It's about having a meal after you cook, or having a meal with your family. That's really what it's about. And so, so yes, it's okay to simplify. It's okay to go out to eat. You don't have to cook every single breakfast on a Blackstone. You don't have to cook every single dinner over the campfire or on a charcoal grill. All of that stuff is great. Again, we still love to do it, but yeah, don't feel pressured to do it. And that's, I think, a tendency of a lot of seasoned RVers. Okay, there you go, guys. So I think the overall gist, like I just said, of this video is you just simplify things. Things get simpler and simpler. You get more content in your habits. You get more content in how you want to RV specifically. So here's my ask. You guys that have been camping for a good while, 8, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, hop down in that comment section. Let me know what I missed. I know I missed a lot of stuff. But and let us know your tendencies. Your tendencies may be different. Maybe you've been camping 30 years, and every single time you go camping, you love to cook a big meal for every single meal. Maybe that's you. Hop down in the comment section. Let us know. Hey guys, we're over 81,000 subscribers. Every single video in 2024. I just want to say thank you. I really do appreciate it. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm not. Every single thank you is sincere, and I just made it a point. Every single video, I'm going to say thanks. So thanks. Hope you guys are being safe out there. See ya.